Hello everybody, it's Lady Kayla here, and today I'm going to talk about slut shaming and how it's so much more than just trash talk and it cannot just be brushed off like that. Basically, I wanted to start by saying that how do you define slut? Slut is a word that so many people define in so many different ways, and it's just ridiculous. You could be a slut if you're wearing revealing clothing, you could be a slut if you're talking to too many people of the opposite sex, or if you're a homosexual, the same sex, and depending on your sexuality, so on and so forth. And you could be called a slut for sleeping around. You could be a slut for rumored to be sleeping around. It doesn't even have to be true, and it's just ridiculous. But basically, I have a couple of real definitions here, and one is a woman who charges for sexual activity, and this is the one that I see the most, and so it's referring to prostitution. And a lot of people who get called sluts usually aren't prostitutes. And then another one is a woman who cares not for domestic cleanliness. So that's just sexist in all sorts of ways. But the one that we use the most is an offensive term for a woman thought to be sexually promiscuous. And this is a problem within itself because it just says thought to be sexually promiscuous. So it doesn't even have to be true. That's how dangerous this is. And of course it says offensive term, so it's obviously not something positive. But slut shaming has effects on society as a whole, and they are not positive at all. One of them is it reinforces an idea that women cannot dress the way they want. They cannot wear revealing clothing, and yes, men can be called sluts too, and it's very negative for them to be called sluts as well, but it mostly affects society on a feminine level. So women get the most negative outcome from slut shaming. So it reinforces this idea that we have to cover up, we're restricted, there's certain clothing that we have to wear, and this is a very age-old, dated idea that women have to cover up, and in all reality we don't. And so it's very restrictive, and a lot of people who participate in slut shaming don't even believe in this idea, yet they're reinforcing it, most likely because who they're calling a slut wears more revealing clothes than them. They might even be wearing the same clothes, but yet still use this as a reason to call other people sluts, and it's not positive at all. And then it also reinforces this idea that women cannot sleep around. They cannot sleep with multiple partners. And this, again, is not true. As long as you have two consenting people who are ready for it and who are being safe about it, it's none of your business how many people someone sleeps around with, and nor should it be a big deal as long as it's safe and not harming anybody. So calling people slut reinforces this idea that, again, we are restricted, we are confined to usually one man, and that is wrong on all sorts of levels for homosexual people who don't want to be confined to men, lesbians who want to be partners with other women, and people who want multiple partners because they feel much more comfortable that way. And it's so restrictive on sexual partners, and there's really nothing wrong with having multiple sexual partners as long as you're being safe and not spreading disease and you're consenting, so it's not rape. And it just reinforces this idea that we're restricted to one person, typically one man, and that is not a good idea at all. Another thing is it desensitizes this term, and it makes it okay for other people to call you slut for whatever reason, for some lame definition that they made up. So you may not even fit into the proper term of slut and the proper definition of slut, and it just reinforces this idea that you can be called slut whenever, and obviously it's a negative term that most people would not feel comfortable being called. It also desensitizes people who fit into this idea of slut for whatever definition you use, even if it's the wrong definition, that it's okay to abuse sluts, it's okay to rape sluts, it's okay to be negative towards sluts. And so anybody who fits into this twisted definition of slut, whether it be they wear revealing clothing, whether it be they flirt a lot, it gives you this idea that it's okay to abuse them, it's okay to attack them, and that is not okay. It's none of your business, and it's not your right to sit there and attack and reinforce this kind of behavior towards people who fit into the definition of slut. It's not okay. And I realize that I'm not going to stop people from using the term slut. It's embedded in our society. People don't understand what they're doing. And so I just hope that putting this video out there kind of changes the mind of people, though it might not change your behavior. So I just want to arm people who are called sluts and who are abused by this term. And just know that people who call you sluts, they just look ignorant to the fullest, because first off, they probably don't know the true definition of slut. Second off, they're just hurting themselves more than they're hurting you. They're just typically using the word in such a way that it will eventually come back and hurt them more than it would you, because now you're armed with some knowledge and you know what the term really means, and you know how it affects society and how it can be so negative on such a level that's more than, you know, skin deep, and it's more than just a surface level. It's more than just, oh, they're calling me a name. So just arm yourself with knowledge. Know that slut shaming is really, really negative on so many levels, and it should not be reinforced. And if you hear someone call you slut, you hear someone else call other people sluts, telling them may or may not change their mind. They might be too ignorant, too proud, or too whatever to understand what you're trying to say or do. Just know that you don't support it, or you don't promote it, or that, you know, what it does is at least enough, and know that they're the ones that look ignorant, and they're the ones that are reinforcing something so negative. And you can try and inform them and give them the knowledge, you know, but if it doesn't work, don't focus too much on it. Just know that you can make a difference just by knowing and at least trying to share the knowledge. Okay, well, that was my little rant on the topic of slut shaming and why I don't promote it, I don't support it. You can write your opinions on the comments below. Thank you for your time. Bye.